Hello everyone, you are all welcome to lecture number 1123, and today's topic is in continuation of forensic chemistry part 2. In previous lecture I have already discussed first forensic science, its evolution, and then the one branch of forensic science first I am taking, that is forensic chemistry, and one by one I will be taking some 4 to 5 lectures on forensic chemistry because it's a very important branch. And if you remember, in my first lecture I mentioned that actually the forensic science started from poison. Poison is the first forensic material to be investigated by the police, by the legal system, and I gave a lot of history. And even today, again, the most of the cases, more than 80% cases, they are related to either narcotic drugs, psychosomatic drugs, toxic drugs, and sometimes hallucinating drugs, stimulating drugs, and depressant. So these are all under narcotic drugs, and today I will be discussing one by one, that is under the cases under narcotic drugs. When I am saying narcotic drugs, it is classified into 3 grouping. The first grouping of the drugs under narcotic drug is hallucinogen, that is drugs which are related to hallucination. You are in hallucination. That drug hallucination means, or hallucinogenic drug means, they are going to swing your mood, your imagination, and the formation of images, and your all brain activity is totally different after taking such type of hallucinating drug. And most of the hallucinating drugs, they are alkaloidal substances isolated from plant, and different derivatives are made. For example, the most important hallucinating drugs are marijuana, cannabis, cocaine, heroin. They are all under hallucinating drugs which are responsible of putting you in hallucination. So what is hallucination? Actually, why people are rushing towards this drug? The reason is that once it is taken by any human being, first thing is that his image formation and looking at object is quite different. For example, if suppose one rope is there in front of him, any rope, his image formation in his brain, because our camera is eye, once he will see that, oh no, he will say that it is snake. He will never accept that it is rope. He will say that no, it is snake. That is called hallucination. And he will be in higher state of thinking. One is lower state, that is depression, and higher state means that is feeling high. That is hallucination. False image, false thinking, false imagination. For example, he will be feeling very high. He will think that he is emir of Kano, and this Shehu of Borno is under him. He is the commander of everybody. So such type of feeling and emotion by these type of drugs are called hallucinating drugs. And the second one is, that is called stimulating drug. The stimulating drugs, they are also synthetic as well as from plant origin. And the third group, it is depressant. So first I will be targeting the hallucinogen, that is the drugs which are responsible for hallucination, and also psychosomatic, psychological drugs which are used and there are lot of alkaloids like opium, like morphine, and that morphine is isolated from poppy, that is from opium, and that different derivative of morphine, where some of the hydroxy group is converted into acetate, acetate is converted into methoxy group. So different derivatives are having different type of hallucinating effect. So I will be taking one by one, and my request, my 30 lectures are there on alkaloids, starting from how alkaloid is extracted, its general property, its uses, all different type of opium, opium war, and then nicotine, then atropine, quinine, all drugs are there. And these lectures, there are 35, they are very, very important for those students who are going for undergraduate courses in forensic medicine, and I will give their link how to go to those type of lectures. So now here I have given that is narcotic drugs and the cases related to, that is NDPS drugs, sometimes they mention, and NDPS full form is narcotic and psycho substance drugs. Narcotic and psycho PSY, psycho substances, and narcotic drugs are one most powerful drug, that is hallucinogens, number two stimulants, and number three depressants. So first I will be discussing what are such type of drugs which are causing hallucination, that is called hallucinogens. So hallucinogens, they are class of drugs that can cause hallucinations. I have already given a lot of explanation about hallucination. It is false image, impression, yourself high image. You feel yourself very big, very high, in your higher state. Lower state is depression, higher state is means that is your high image, or high sensation is sensational drug because it is attacking to your nervous system. It seems real. For example, if a rope may look like a snake, michiji. If any rope is there, if you have taken the drug, you will look, you will feel that it is a snake, but that is not a snake, that is simply rope. And also your feeling will be very high, your attitude will change, your behavior will change. And what is attitude? Attitude of any person includes small behavior. If you put all small behavior, how he talks, how he behaves, and how he is responding to any problem, is he cool, is he emotional, all his social, political, financial behavior all together collectively, that is called attitude of a person. That's why I used to say there is always chance of improvement for anybody, provided he is ready to change his attitude. And changing attitude means first he should reject all the negative small habits, smoking, drinking, laziness, sleeping, oversleeping, irritating, misbehaving. All these are all the negative attitudes. So once you change your attitude, all clean and clear, delete your all negative emotions and behavior and habits, then definitely there is chance of improvement. Otherwise, there is no chance of improvement. So this hallucinating drugs, they are changing the attitude also. He will be abnormal. His behavior will be abnormal. He will not recognize who is mother, who is father, who is relative, who is loved one. Sensations, and it seems that is rock may look like snake. These drugs cause marked alteration of mood, alteration of attitude, thought process, changing the thought process, and wrong perception he will always get wrong perception for any good man. His behavior will be totally different. Once he is recognizing that rope is a snake, there is nothing to discuss with him. And for this, the most controversial drug, the names are two, that is marijuana, and second one is cocaine. Marijuana, his other name is also called cannabis. Indian hemp also, that is called ganja, bhang in Indian language. So it is produced there. And in my alkaloidal lectures, I have discussed in detail about marijuana, about cannabis, about Indian hemp, cocaine, heroin, morphine, all are given. I am going to give the reference so that you can watch that lecture. So the marijuana and cocaine, most abusive drug in the society. These two are most abusive, and most of the super rich people, they take cocaine and heroin, and it's very expensive, very costly. Few gram may cost, if I convert in naira, maybe millions of naira, because there is death penalty in some countries. Last week in Singapore, one lady, very respected lady, her age was 46, and she was given death penalty because she was having only 50 gram of cocaine in her possession. And in Singapore, also in Middle East, in Dubai, especially Singapore, very strict. They will not spare even 50 gram. 50 gram is nothing. Some people, they approached her, sir, this quantity was very small, and she said that I was keeping this for my personal use. No, she was hanged just last week. So that's why this drug, cocaine and heroin, they are costly because it's very difficult to get. And then the other name of marijuana is, I have told you, cannabis, and it is psychoactive drug, acts on your central nervous system. So here actually, these are all, psychoactive or hallucinating drugs, that is narcotic. Marijuana is legally allowed in America. There are shops. You go and buy. And from marijuana, different type of derivatives are prepared. Some are very costly. Once it is upper side, flowering side and seed, and that is the seed oil is very, very important as a analgesic and painkiller. And most of these drugs, even cocaine, is a very good anesthetic. It is used for anesthesia. But we are human beings. For everything we have positive and negative aspect in use. Marijuana, cannabis, Indian hemp, bhang, ganja, Indian language, they are all very good as a sedative, analgesic, painkiller. For example, morphine is one of the best painkiller. When all the drugs they fail, then finally morphine is injected. And that is the product of poppy, opium. So these are all alkaloid content. They have thousands of year history. People are using, but nowadays the chemist, especially the medicinal companies like us, if I am crooked and I can isolate and extract this cocaine and all these products, it's nothing. Just somewhere we will treat with hydrochloric acid to convert into salt, crystallize it, then with the help of different separating method, by separating funnel, by column chromatography, separate them in very, very active form, then prepare the derivatives, do the methylation, do the acetylation, convert all the hydroxy group in different groups, and you can check the potency and sell it. What they are doing in some South American countries, they are very, very big lab and highly paid. Medicinal chemists are there like us. They are paid millions of dollars in their research lab to produce tons of narcotic, especially the hallucinogenic drugs. So there is a big industry, multi-billion-dollar industry. And in America, that is Colombia is also one country, Afghanistan is the main producer, Pakistan, in some area of India also like Kashmir, they are all involved in producing lot of cocaine, lot of marijuana, lot of opium, and they are earning good money. Sometimes Americans, because most of the consumers in the world, up to 70%, it goes to USA. And USA is paying to them, to these countries, that whatever earning you are getting out of export of all these narcotic drugs, please, that much dollar you can take from me as aid and stop cultivating. But still, some cultivation is going on. So this is the real, ground history, ground reality of all these narcotic drugs. And this dealing with narcotic drugs is challenging to forensic chemists. Forensic chemists means where police and legal system is involved to capture the people who are involved in it and to do the testing, and lot of other drugs I am going to discuss one by one. So with this I will stop. In the next lecture I am going to discuss some more drugs. Thank you very much for watching the lecture.